Start here, and today is the seasonal round one PU seasonal. PU seasonal and PUPL, both they're both PUPL's coming up, so that's probably gonna be a lot of PU stuff for a while, unless something really weird happens. Anyway, round one is versus Brick Small, who's a good player. He doesn't main PU, but he can certainly get PU teams for PU player. It's like City Folk or Lockjaw or whoever. And he's a solid player in other tiers, so not someone I can just totally fuck around with. So I didn't really know what he was going to bring. I didn't have much of an idea because he could get a lot of different teams. He could have gone the Z-Drop, which would probably have been more bulky offense, or Lockjaw and gotten more offense. That's just kind of my thought process. So I just grabbed this team, which is a pretty solid team that I'm having fun with. Nasty Plot Chatot, which is the set, basically just defeats him once I get rid of Scarf Rotom, if that is defensive slow Swanna. If it's offensive, it can outspeed and do a lot with Life Orb Scald, but otherwise, like Nasty Plot Chatot, just weaken the Stunfisk a bit, it dies. Gourgeist can't take a Heat Wave, Boom Burst kills everything, so Chatot's gonna be pretty nice. That was kind of my feeling from Team Preview. I don't really have a switch into Swanna. I don't have a bird resist. The biggest weakness for this team is birds not named Chatot. Like, Dogio grabs kills, Swanna grabs kills, so that's kind of unfortunate, but I still feel like the team is pretty solid. Other than that, I have a decent matchup here. It's nothing too great. Chatot's gonna be cool, but it's nothing terrible. So, he's gonna lead off with Swanna. I'm gonna lead Dusknoir. And this is actually an interesting Dusknoir set. I heard people talking about using Rock Slide on Choke, because that way you can hit Swanna and you can hit Altaria, and you don't really need Ice Punch that much. You're also still hitting Volby, you're still hitting Jumpluff, stuff like that. I was like, you know what, that sounds a lot like what Dusknoir can do, and I think Ice Punch is probably better overall, but I am running Rock Slide. This is a very weird Dusknoir set I made specifically just to test something out. It's, well, you'll see. So, turn one, he's gonna Scald, do a lot, which sucks, because, I like healthy Dusknoir, but it doesn't burn, which is the important part, and Rock Slide does a crap ton. I do just Sneak, I'm not gonna predict anything. I did consider Earthquaking Stunfisk, but I didn't. He goes Stunfisk, and this is where I'm gonna reveal, I'm actually Colbur Berry with Taunt. 3 attacks, including Rock Slide, just a weird as shit set, but I think it's pretty cool. He goes Rotom on Earthquake. I wasn't exactly sure what he's gonna do here, because obviously Camerupt can come in on a Volt Switch, but I don't really have an Ice Resist for Blizzard. The team also has a bit of trouble with offensive Lapras and stuff, and I definitely think Quilladin is something I'm gonna look into replace. But right now, at least Camerupt can take on Rotom, which is the Ice type he's using. So he could Blizzard, he could just Volt Switch for Chip. I wasn't sure what he's going to do, so I'm just going to stay and click Rock Slide as he does Volt Switch out. Let me slow this down a bit. So he heads out into Gourgeist as I just click Rock Slide. Oh god, that is too slow. I didn't really plan on the speed, but oh well. Oh well. So I do preserve Dusknoir because Shadow Sneak could be useful, and Camerupt's a pretty safe switch in here. Like, that's still max attack I've used, which is my fault, and that is 27%, so I'm not really afraid. I can just set up Stealth Rock, because I'm still seeing Chip the Rotom, win with Chatot. That's my plan right now. So he goes Stunfisk, and I'm going to actually click Earth Power, because I realize not only does that help Chatot, but Mr. Mime can actually clean up pretty easily, so that's also another option. Stunfisk doesn't take much from Mime, so I'm going to switch into Quilladin, as he actually ends up going into Grumpig to take the Earth Power. I thought he was going to try to weaken Camerupt, because the way I saw it, his win condition is going to have to be Grumpig after he removes Dusknoir. So I figured weakening Camerupt so it couldn't annoy Grumpig might have been the play, but he ends up going right into Grumpig when we weaken it, so I kind of just misread him here. But he's going to sub, as I just wanted a Spike just to wear down his team. I didn't care that Grumpig could 2-hit KO Quilladin. It loses to his entire team except Stunfisk anyway, so I do just go for a Spike as he reveals Substitute. Scrubstitute, as I like to call it, because I'm not really a fan of Subcom Mind Grumpig. It just never, like, it kind of works sometimes, but I'm just not a fan. So he goes right to Monferno. I mean, he gives the word out to Monferno. So I just click Synthesis to show him that I can Synthesis off the recoil, and then I expect him to U-turn, as he does, and I'm able to get up a second spike, which is really all I need, and this game is pretty much in my favor right now as he goes Rotom. I do just spike, and he ends up missing a Blizzard, which means I get a third one. That wasn't too important, like I was just death foddering this, but works for me, you know? So I can go right back to Camerupt and sort of just like click Fire Blast and do a lot to something. No, I actually think I Yawn, because Yawn plus Spike's pseudo-phasing is just very fun. Like, he can either let Grumpig go to sleep, which is something he kind of wanted to take on Camerupt and Mr. Mime, or he can switch out, and he ends up letting him go to sleep. Because I Fire Blast just in case he did want to switch out, because I figured I can just take this out once it's asleep anyway. Because he's probably gonna fodder it. I think it dies to Spikes plus Rocks at this point. Like, 3 Spikes is 25, and then Rocks is 12, so it's like 37, I think. Anyway, he stays asleep, and I'm able to get the KO. Which means that Camerupt is just sitting pretty right here. He doesn't really have a great Revenge Mon. He ends up choosing Monferno, which I think does kill with close combat, so I'm just going to fodder Dusknoir. Plus, if I get in on a close combat, I can sneak him for the kill, so that might work. But he does make the prediction go for the Flare Blitz, which is absolutely fine. He can't take hazards anyway, and I can just go to Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime, just an incredible Mon right now that went up from like A-, I don't know why it was that low, all the way up to A+ recently. Like it's just a really good Mon right now. Top 2 Scarfer, great balance breaker with its other stats. Like, I just like Mime a lot, so. Anyway, he goes Stunfisk. I do need to keep Mime healthy, because on the off chance he lives the hit, he goes for Discharge, and he gets the Para. Rotom Frost is actually a legitimate threat, potentially. I'm just playing it very safe by going right to Camerupt, not really risking anything. Because I would not want to lose in a position like this. That would just be the stupidest way to choke. Like, no thanks. So he goes Rotom. He even misses Blizzard as I'm going to KO. It really didn't matter. Like, it's not like Geist is going to sweep my team, and it's certainly not like Rotom was, but oh well, my bad. So he goes Gourgeist. I think actually in a little bit of vengeance, he's going to C-bomb, and then I miss my Fire Blast. But that's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter, you know? Camerupt's just perfectly safe to sack. Like, Gourgeist is a very solid defensive Mon, but I have 3 special attackers, so I'm gonna go to Floatzel. I was actually surprised that it did that little Gourgeist. Like, I didn't really expect it to kill, but at the same time, if you think about it, that's 66%. That's just not very much at all. But anyway, that's game 1. I sort of rambled for a bit. I do that. Game 2, I felt pretty good about game 1, and I figured he's probably going to bring something fairly bulky again. So I bring this team that's really not a team I would bring to face anybody unless it was a counter team. I guess I didn't really take him seriously after I said I'd have to, huh? Anyway, this is, this team was basically built around 3 Swords Dance users plus Healing Wish. That's the whole plan. I have 3 Swords Dance users and a Healing Wish user, and if I can't break through their team, I'm doing something wrong. Unfortunately, this could potentially be a something wrong type game because he has Volibile, which is going to stop them. He has Clefairy, which means that Fracture's not going to be sweet in this team, and he has Stunfisk just to annoy Monferno and get Paras, and that's just not cool at all. Plus, Electrode can't really do much when he's Lightning Rod Raichu and a Stunfisk and a Regice, which is pretty annoying. So I didn't have that many high hopes, but at the same time, if I can weaken the Clefairy and then get a Swords Dance with Fracture and like kill it with Aqua Tail, something could happen. Also, I should note that this is Lumberry Fracture, because I realized I wanted Lum and everyone just assumes it's a Violet, and I thought I'd try it. So he's gonna lead right with the Clefairies. I just want rocks, because weakening the Volibile is my #1 priority. It stops Leafeon. Nothing else does. Nothing else stops Leafeon. Like, if he's T-Wave Clef, that's his best check. Once Leafeon gets the +2. So I'm just gonna click Stealth Rock as he shows he's Calm Mind, which is bad because that means he's physically defensive, which means he takes on Fracture better. So I'm just gonna yawn as he calm minds again, and I figure he doesn't want this to sleep because then Fracture is just way much larger of a threat than it has to be. So I'm just gonna click Toxic, catch the Volibile, which I'm already weakening this Volibile. I'm happy with that. I do not mind at all. He's actually going to reveal he's faster in U-turn. I think Prinplup's naturally faster, so he's got a fair bit of creep. As I Scald and he gets in the Politoed on that. I figured he'd defog, but he just doesn't. He's going to Scald. Gets the burn turn 1, which really does suck for Prinplup. I will deserve it. But that does mean that he's going to have a lot easier of a time wearing down this Prinplup, as I don't want to risk anything switching into Politoed, so I'm going to yawn first, but then I realize risky going to Fracture on Ice Beam, sure, but I also want to save that for Death Fodder, so I just go right to Fracture, as he gets a critical hit right here, which does over half. It wouldn't have done that with a Violet, which is why I said I'm Lum, just so you know, and Lum is also pretty safe switching in, don't have to worry about the burn, so I'm going to double into Leafeon, predicting Clefairy. He ends up choosing Stunfisk, which is kind of interesting because Volibear's weakened, and if he lets me weaken Stunfisk, then what are you supposed to do about a Swords Dance Monferno? You know? So I assume there's no way he's staying in, so I'm just going to knock off, and he stays in Toxics, which is rather unfortunate. I do have Healing Wish Mime in the back for something, but I really did want Leafeon healthy. I'm going to Leaf Blade. He lets me weaken his Stunfisk. So Swords Dance Monferno, looking like a much bigger threat already. He is going to go right into his Volibile as I do Leaf Blade. I get a critical hit, and even though he's that low, I'm not Return. I'm Sunny Day. I can't kill him. So I am going to knock him off, because that way, no Violet, Monferno looking good. I already said all that. He does have Stunfisk for static paras, which is basically his stop to it now. Also, it doesn't really set up on anything, but anyway, I'm going to go right to Electrode, because obviously he's going to Roost here. He needs to keep it healthy, and I Volt Switch. I definitely could have HP Ice, but I was afraid he might go Clefairy, or even Regice is less likely, but it's possible, as he ends up sacking his Stunfisk, which means that Monferno is going to be pretty good, but I don't think I really play it as well as I could have. Anyway, he goes Clefairy. I am just going to taunt him and take a lot of damage, because he either predicts that or just wanted to Moonblast, and unfortunately here, I get a para full para, which sucks for him. And overall, if you just removed all hacks, it really shouldn't have impacted the game that much, but this is really going to come in huge, because now at this point, I don't even have to worry about T-Wave Clef, which he probably is because he's Calm Mind, he already has Rocks on something else. Even after a T-Wave, it's not going to be outspeeding my Mons. I don't have to worry about anything like that. And that's really a nice thing that I just don't have to keep in mind anymore. So he's going to save his Clefairy and go right to Raichu, which is absolutely fair because then I can't spam Outrage with Fracture. I am just going to sack Electrode for damage. I don't really have a switch into this. I could sack Prinplup, but Electrode's almost dead. And Prinplup can potentially Toxic the Regice or something. I don't know. To be honest, I should just sack Prinplup, but now I'm going to go Scarf Mime. It was basically 50-50 between Gleam and Psyshock, which he would have wanted to go to Clefairy on. I do Gleam the Volibile, or it may have been Death Fodder, who knows. But he's going to be able to get Clefairy on that. And I have to go Swords Dance Leafeon because Calm Mind is a threat. Unfortunately, gets full parried. If he Moonblasted, that sucked. If I were him, I definitely wouldn't have. I would have T-Waved, but it's a possibility. He doesn't want to sack and he doesn't want to let his Violet go because Clefairy is still his win condition, even when paralyzed. So he just sacks Politoed, which makes sense because it doesn't really do shit. And Leafeon goes down, which means I can no longer Healing Wish it, but I did want to get rid of the Politoed. So he goes right back to Raichu as I click Monferno, and I just wasn't sure that if he was in. I'm an adamant Mach Punch Monferno, and I haven't calced it. Raichu probably dies, but it might live, and I didn't calc it. I'm like, yeah, I better get out of there. Make him take Life Orb, then I'm okay. So I just sack Prinplup. It's not like Prinplup was doing anything. So I still haven't brought in Monferno, and Monferno is the threat here, and I still haven't gone to it. I'm just playing dumb. I'm gonna go to Mr. Mime and kill him with the Psyshock, which is just go Monferno. Stupid. But I do save Mr. Mime because I know he's just gonna soft build anyway, so I might start Swords Dancing already. he does T-Wave me here, but like I said, I don't have to worry about paras. And here's the thing, Moonblast does like less than 30 is its max, or something stupid like that. And I don't have to worry about anything, because all I have to do is Swords Dance again, because Moonblast is just so weak. I'm going to get paralyzed. He's just going to click Soft Boiled, trying to stall me out of Flare Blitz, because that's his only way to win. Like, stall this out, do something with Regice. As he Soft Boiled again, but I do set up another Flare Blitz. He does just barely live. Click Moonblast, I take that easy. Okay, 33 is basically maximum damage, and here, to be honest, I probably could have Swords Danced, trying to make him kill me, so he cannot set up on a paralyzed Monferno with Regice. But there's really no reason to risk that, because then if he Soft Boils, I could be in trouble, so I don't know. I just click Flare Blitz, because why the hell not? And this game is over as long as I don't get paralyzed. And then I get paralyzed, which is, you know, I totally deserve it for the whole para thing, as he ends up being Tank Regice, which is more threatening than Rock Polish might have been. He would have had to Rock Polish like twice and then kill a paralyzed Monferno. But I go Fracture, he can live that. Like, he can take the hit. But fortunately, that is going to do enough. I am adamant. I'm not Jolly, which is standard for Dragon Dance, which is very fortunate, because I don't know if Jolly Fracture Superpower plus Mr. Mime's Psyshock would have killed. It might have, but I don't know. Anyway, I am able to take this game. So I'm going to win 2-0 over Brick Small. Hopefully I'll be bringing more seasonal games and all that. Some pretty good games, I think. A little goofy second team, but it's whatever. So I hope y'all enjoyed. See you next time, etc.